Flowers, Indian River County Sheriff, and we're here today to talk about a burglary case that happened overnight last night. It started with Sebastian Police Department. They were receiving calls of auto burglaries in the area. Our deputies began to receive the same kind of calls of auto burglaries out in the county, and we had a couple astute deputies who had identified some suspects. Now, if you're familiar with some Indian River County cases, you know that we had a shooting in Gifford back in June. We had an incident in Osceola County, a stolen vehicle in Indian River County that went to Osceola, came back. We apprehended some subjects in that case. We have ties to all of these burglaries. We're connecting these cases. So this is this group that's out here doing these burglaries that are traveling around. We have ties here to 5 different counties. They're traveling around conducting burglaries, not just in and around Indian River County, but other counties as well. And we were able to put an end to 4 of the 5 people. They're over in our jail right now. So I'm excited to give you this report and give you this information about this case that our deputies did a great job on. Once they identified that Sebastian and our area had been hit by these burglaries, they started looking for vehicles that were associated with these folks. They identified that one of these vehicles through technology had been in the area. They were able to find that vehicle around 4 in the morning, able to conduct a traffic stop. As they stopped the vehicle took off. And that's when they knew that this was a very dangerous situation. Guns have been involved in these burglaries. Numerous items have been involved. So they made the decision to pursue this vehicle. It traveled south into the south part of the county. One of our school resource K-9 deputies was coming on duty, and he heard the call. He was able to get out, throw stop sticks. The vehicle, the tires became disabled. The vehicle continued despite the fact that the tires were disabled, and our deputies gave chase. They went to the end of a dead-end road where there was a canal. The vehicle stopped at the canal. The folks were trying to get out. Our deputy was in sugar sand, unable to stop, bumped the back end of that vehicle, pushing it into the canal. Our folks fled, went right into the canal, took those folks into custody, and they were able to apprehend 3 of the 4 subjects. A 4th subject did flee from the scene. Sebastian K-9 was there. Our partners with Sebastian helped out tremendously. They were able to apprehend the 4th subject, and since then we learned that there was a 5th subject that was involved in this that we're currently seeking warrants on. So we're excited about putting these bad guys in jail. They're involved in a lot of burglaries. The items you see behind me are all items that we recovered as a result of a search warrant yesterday. There are 3 firearms that are here that we recovered, all 3 of them taken from vehicles that were unlocked that they were able to get into. You see how many different wallets, we've got cell phones, laptops, all these different purses and bags. All these came out of vehicles, not just in Indian River County. We've got ties to Brevard County. We've got ties to St. Lucie, to Martin. These folks are traveling. They're finding anywhere they can to break into. And our deputies, because of their good job, because of the detectives that are working this case, because of all of our entire team effort, we're able to put these folks behind bars, and we were able to recover all these items. We haven't processed these yet. This is still a very active investigation. The detectives are here. They're continuing to work on this. We'll be processing all these for fingerprints, for DNA, to be able to prove where these came from, who it was that was involved in this, and make sure that these folks stay behind bars. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Do we have an estimate? How many cases are we talking here?
In excess of 20, 30 cases, absolutely without a doubt. We'll be able to close as a result of this, but we believe that, in Martin County alone, we know there's at least 20 cases that these folks are tied to. I can't even speculate at this point, but we know that this group is traveling. We know, like I said, there's ties to that burglary that happened over in Osceola County. And here's the crazy thing. Every single time we've arrested this crew, there's stolen guns. We've recovered stolen guns. The shooting that happened, 2 stolen guns in that vehicle. The incident that happened when they came back from Osceola, 2 stolen guns. Today we have 3 stolen guns. So these are very dangerous criminals. These are bad guys that are out there, and they're off the streets tonight. 4 of them are off the streets, but we're going to continue to work this and get that 5th one.
The message always, though, seems to be on these kinds of cases, again, you're saying these are unlocked cars. How often do we have to get this message across to people that, especially if they're a firearm owner?
Say this every single time. We continue to have burglaries of unlocked vehicles where people are leaving firearms inside. They put them in a glove box, they put them in a center console, and that's how these bad guys get a hold of these weapons. So please lock your car doors. These aren't smash and grabs. These aren't cases where They're searching out for weapons specifically. They're pulling on every door handle, and when they find an unlocked car, that's the one that they're going after. And unfortunately, there's a whole lot of people that leave weapons in unlocked vehicles. We just can't have it. It's got to come to an end, folks. Please, if you're a weapons owner, if you're a gun owner, do not leave those things. And it's not just guns. There's knives, there's bullets, there's all kinds of other things that they're leaving in there as well. You see laptops, cell phones, anything that they can get a hold of that has value, they're going to take it out of there. So please, lock your car doors.
The victims that the property was stolen, how long before they can actually have it back?
Sure, so he's asking about the victims and how long it will be before they get it back. All these items have to be processed for fingerprints. We will notify the victims that we have their items. We'll get it back to them as soon as we possibly can. Unfortunately, it does take a little bit of time, but it won't be too long. They'll get back to them in relatively. We'll photograph everything, document it, and then return to it as soon as we possibly can.
Where are these guys from? I mean,
they're actually from Indian River County. These are some of our bad guys that have been traveling around, that have been committing these crimes. Everybody that we identified so far has been an Indian River County resident, but we know that they're traveling to these other places. And I got to thank Representative Snyder, Sheriff Snyder down in Martin County. His son is in the legislature. He passed a bill about traveling criminals. Unfortunately, that bill doesn't go into effect until October 1st. So this case at this moment is not going to be something that we can use as a result of that. But in the future, that bill is going to be huge for us because cases just like this are going to get enhanced penalties when you cross a county line and you're out there committing crimes.
Can you go a little bit more in depth and what would happen if this would have happened October 2? I mean, what difference, what would have been, like, putting it simple?
So the state attorney has to prove that these folks traveled across county lines to commit a crime, and they're able to enhance the penalties on top of what would normally be charged. It's not just a regular burglary, it's burglary, but they're crossing that county line. So more time, they'd be up for more severe charges than they will as a result of this. So we're excited about that. Can't wait to use that law. We're waiting for October 1st to get here so we can start using it.
Ages of the suspects, more or less?
We had 3 adults that were in the vehicle and 1 juvenile. They're all on our website. We'll get you the information of those folks that were arrested as a result of this.
And you said these guys were involved in some way in that June shooting in Gifford?
So we've tied people that were, there's a common person that's in all 3 of these incidents every single time. And we know that this is a group. We know that they're working together. It's been different people along the way, but there's commonalities and they're doing the same thing every time. So our team is on top of this. We want people to know that if you want to be a bad guy, you want to be out doing this stuff, our team is all over you. We're coming to get you. You're not going to be able to conduct this, commit this type of crime, and we're putting bad guys in jail as a result of it.
Since you mentioned the June case, obviously you've seen, because you put out a statement last Friday on the shooting. Is there anything you want to expand on based on the request from the NAACP to have the FDLE look into it?
Without a doubt. I mean, this just proves again that here's a 3rd case that's involving this same group that's out traveling, that's being involved in burglaries. These folks that were in the car the night of that shooting, we knew in advance that they were absolutely out committing burglaries. We knew that they were stealing weapons, that there was 2 stolen guns in the car that night. The Osceola County incident, there was 2 stolen guns in the car that night. So now we have 3 stolen guns. Our folks aren't randomly picking people out there. We're doing investigations. We're following up. We're working these active burglaries. People in Indian River County are tired of bad guys breaking into their stuff. They work hard for their items, and they don't want their items taken. Number 1, lock your doors, right? But number 2, you shouldn't have to lock your doors. We should be able to be a safe community, and so we're going to continue to work hard. We're going to put these bad guys in jail, and if you think you're going to be out there committing crimes in the middle of the night, we're coming to get you.
And you're not, I don't know if the right word is offended by the NAACP asking the FDLE to come into this case? You feel you guys can do an impartial investigation?
Not offended in any way whatsoever. Tony Brown and I have had a great relationship, and I hope we can continue that relationship. But this particular incident, I just don't think that all the facts are out there. And I think at the conclusion of the investigation, at the conclusion of the state attorney's review, we'll find that our folks did their job. They were absolutely out there with some really dangerous individuals, that they knew that in advance of conducting the traffic stop, and that they did their job that night.
Any timetable on that? How long that?
You have to ask state attorneys on that.
How far south have these burglaries been committed?
Martin County. We know into Martin County. We have items recovered that are from Martin County.
Palm Beach County, or they haven't gone that far?
No ties to Palm Beach. They weren't going that far. They stopped at Martin County.